Timpanogos, you see them in the corner of your screen. They're jumping, they're excited, they're looking for their second straight state title, as the Spanish Fork Dons will try to play spoiler and see if they can find a way to maybe force game 2 coming up later tonight. It will be something that Spanish Fork will have to play a very good ball game. They played well in game 1 between these two teams before they were able to before Timpanogos had that big 4-run inning to make the difference. Derek Aquinto, you see him there. He is making his warm-up tosses on the mound for Timpanogos. Let's go ahead and review the starting lineup for head coach Casey Nelson and his Spanish Fork Dons. Leading off will be the center fielder, Brady Brook. Tanner Argyle, the shortstop, hits second. Cy Nielsen, the pitcher, will hit third. Briggs Newman, the first baseman, hits cleanup. Brendan Bradford in right field will hit fifth. Josh Cowden, the catcher, will hit sixth. Tay Newman, the third baseman, hitting seventh. Andrew Pintar will hit eighth, the second baseman, and then Jackson Higginson will round out the order and bat ninth. Derek Aquinto has just concluded his final warm-up toss, and we are just about set and ready to go for this one at about 1:45 to decide the 4A state champion. Timpanogos needs to win once in order to become the state championship, to become the state champions. Spanish Fork, they need to win twice. And we'll see here as Brady Brooks is about ready to stand in the batter's box. And we are just moments away from first pitch here from Brent Brown Ballpark. The sun is out, a little bit stronger breeze than we had about an hour or so ago for the 5A state championship. Derek Aquinto ready to go. The first pitch to Brady Brook misses low for ball one. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Brady Brook. Game time temperatures 67 degrees here in Orem, as Derek Aquinto ready to go here with the 1-0 pitch to Brady Brook. And that one gonna miss inside for a ball, or inside, gets in there for a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike, the count here on Brady Brook. Brook, Argyle, and Nielsen, 1, 2, and 3 for Spanish Fork. The 1-1 pitch, Aquinto kicks and delivers, and Brady Brook checks his swing, and that one misses for a ball. It's 2 balls and a strike right here on Brady Brook. We welcome those watching in the city of Spanish Fork on Spanish Fork 17. 1-2 the count. They changed the ball to a strike call, and it's 1-2 on Brady Brook. The pitch on its way, a fastball misses off the plate. Ball 2, and it evens the count at 2-2 on Brady Brook. Derek Aquinto ready to look here from the stretch, comes set on the mound. And the 2-2 pitch on its way, low, ball 3, and the count runs full on Brady Brook. Defensively, Connor Iyer in left field, Casey Hamilton in center, Josh Edmonds in right for Timpanogos. On the infield, it will be Caden Walker at third, Tyler Cornish at short. At second base, Connor Halford. Spencer Olson at first, Jake Brooksby behind the plate. This one rolls foul and will do the 3-2 pitch over to Brady Brook. The last time these two teams met was actually in the state tournament a year ago, and that one, well, I take that back. They met the other night, but before then, the matchup that we had here on Wednesday, it was a year ago at Timpanogos in the state playoffs. Timpanogos defeating Spanish Fork to put the Dons in the 1-loss bracket. Here's Brady Brook ready to go. Derek Aquinto takes a long look in, time called. And Brook will step out of the batter's box. Just underway, top of the first inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem. The 4A state championship game. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung out and miss, strike 3. And Aquinto gets Brook to swing and miss. And we're have the first out here recorded of this one. And with 1 gone, it will bring up Tanner Argyle. Argyle will stand in here from the right side for Spanish Fork, looking to try to see if he can get something going against Derek Aquinto. Comes home, first pitch, Argyle pops it up. Giving it a quick look will be the first baseman, Spencer Olson, but that is well foul, and we'll do the, well, we'll have another pitch here as it's no balls and 1 strike to count. Ready to go. The pitch to Argyle. That one's lined to center field. It's going to fall in right center field for a base hit. And Tanner Argyle will take a deep turnaround first. He will elect a hold, however. And Spanish Fork has their first base runner of the ball game as the pitcher, Cy Nielsen, will stride to the plate here, looking to try to see if he can help his own cause here in the top of the first inning. Spanish Fork, he could really help Nielsen and the Dons if Spanish Fork could find a way to push a run or two across early on here. The first pitch from Aquinto is in there for a called strike to Nielsen. It's no balls and 1 strike on the Spanish Fork starting pitcher. Tanner Argyle gets his lead over at first. Actively moving the feet, Aquinto will throw over, and Argyle diving back safely. No balls and 1 strike, 1 away here in the top of the first inning, just underway. Here as the sun is out, it is a great afternoon for baseball in Orem. Ready to go from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one swung out and missed as Nielsen just swung through it, and it's 0-2 the count on Cy Nielsen. Aquinto right now, Spanish Fork seems to, they're wanting to maybe slow it down, not let Derek Aquinto get in any sort of a rhythm on the mound. The 0-2 pitch on its way. Nielsen fouls this one back, and we'll do the 0-2 pitch. Aquinto is only taking a step or two ahead, getting the baseball, getting right back up on the mound, and then getting ready to come home. The Spanish Fork hitters, we've seen Cy Nielsen do this. They'll step out of the box, wait a second before stepping back in, almost to try to see if they're trying to knock Aquinto off of his rhythm. That one swung out and missed for strike 3. The throw down to get Argyle is going to be in time for the strike him out, throw him out double play. And that will end the Don threat in the first. The second strikeout for Aquinto, a great throw from Brooksby to Halford. And the Dons go pretty silently in the first inning. At the end of a half inning, Spanish Fork 0, the Timpanogos Timberwolves will be coming up here on Spanish Fork 17. Let's go ahead and thank our sponsors here for making this broadcast possible. We want to thank the car guys, Dickerson Automotive, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen and Wise, attorneys at law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. We thank everybody for making the broadcast possible here today and throughout our high school sports season here on Spanish Fork 17. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. It will be Casey Hamilton, Derek Aquinto, and Tyler Cornish coming up. We'll take a look here at the whole lineup coming up here for Spanish Fork, for Timpanogos. Casey Hamilton will lead it off, batting second, the pitcher Derek Aquinto. Tyler Cornish, the shortstop, hits third. Connor Halford hits in the cleanup spot. Jake Brooksby will go ahead and hit fifth. Spencer Olson, the first baseman, sixth. Caden Walker at third base hits seventh. It will be Cal Beardsley, the DH, hitting eighth, and then Josh Edmonds, the right fielder. The right fielder will bat ninth. Connor Iyer will be in left field, but he won't hit in at least the starting 9 for Timpanogos, as they will face the left-hander Cy Nielsen for Spanish Fork. Nielsen will look to go for the first time here in a state championship game, and Nielsen just, I think, has to kind of do what Derek Aquinto, Spanish Fork's almost going to have to, I feel, match whatever the Timpanogos Timberwolves do throughout this ball game. As Casey Hamilton gets ready to stand in the box. Nielsen ready to come home. The pitch low and inside, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. The count here on Casey Hamilton. Hamilton, Aquinto, and Cornish due up, and Hamilton pops this one up into right center field. Brady Brook calling off Brendan Bradford and making the catch in right center field. There's one gone here in the top of the first inning. Defensively for Spanish Fork in the outfield, you'll have Jackson Higginson in left, Brady Brook in center, Brendan Bradford in right. On the infield, you'll have Briggs Newman at third, Tanner Argyle at short, Andrew Pintar at second. Over at first base, you'll have Briggs Newman, and Quinto pops this one up. Cy Nielsen's going to call everybody off, and he'll make the catch, and there's quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. And just kind of what the doctor ordered here, if you're Spanish Fork, get a couple of quick outs and try to get something going offensively here in the top of the second inning. Behind the plate and doing the catching is none other than Josh Cowden. Cy Nielsen delivers to Tyler Cornish. That one low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes on Cornish. Timpanogos, the defending 4A state champion, trying to repeat there. Only have lost once this entire year, and that one outside for a ball, and that's a called strike, and it's 1-1. That loss by Timpanogos came to a team out of Nevada. Cornish pops this one up. Giving it a look is going to be the third baseman, Tay Newman, but that one's about maybe 3 or 4 rows onto the berm if you were to extend seats down the left field line onto the berm, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes the count here on Tyler Cornish. The left-hander, Cy Nielsen, peering in. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that one gets away to the backstop, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes as Nielsen, I think, was trying to maybe go high and outside, and that one just gets through the backstop, and we'll have another 2-2 pitch about ready to come home. Ready to go here. Nielsen kicks and delivers the 2-2 pitch low, and that one just missing ball 3, and it's 3-2 the count on Tyler Cornish. Cornish standing in, ready to go. Nielsen kicks and delivers the 3-2 pitch, and that one's going to be, it looks like foul tipped. I think it came off the mask of our home plate umpire. He's kind of shaking it off here a little bit. We'll do the 3-2 pitch over again here, and I think he signaled over to the Spanish Fork dugout and say, hey, I'm okay. Bottom of the first inning, no score between Spanish Fork and Timpanogos. The Dons needing to win both today, or 2 games today, to become the 4A state champions. These 2 teams are the last 2 state champions. Spanish Fork winning 2 years ago here over Maple Mountain. Timpanogos last year over Region 7 rival Orem. Tyler Cornish will now step back in the box, as I think our home plate umpire had some time there to shake off the foul ball. Here's the 3-2 pitch on its way home, and that one swung out, popped up. Cowden will give it a look, but it is going to go foul and hit off the rooftop here of the press box. And we'll redo the 3-2 pitch here to Tyler Cornish. 2 gone, bottom of the first inning. No score in this one. The pitch swung on, that's foul tipped into the glove, strike 3, and the inning is over. So Cy Nielsen sends Timpanogos down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. At the end of 1, no scores. Spanish Fork coming up here on Spanish Fork 17, KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Well, we move to the top of the second inning. No score between Spanish Fork and Timpanogos. The 2017 Class 4A State Baseball Championship game. The 4A tournament being here Monday through Friday, except for yesterday where we all had an off day, which was, I think, nice for everybody here. But to come back here for Championship Friday, the Cottonwood Colts winning the 5A state title this morning, as it will be Briggs Newman, Brendan Bradford, Josh Cowden coming up here for the Dons against the left-hander Derek Quinto, and he comes home. The pitch is missing for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes the count, as the crowd kind of I want to say almost 60-40. A lot of red, especially as you look from the home plate area back down the first baseline. That one missing for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm on the far left side of the press area here, not all the way over, but about as far as, almost about as far as you could. The 1-1 pitch. There's a one-liner back through the box for a base hit. Briggs Newman has the second hit for Spanish Fork. A hard hit single back through the middle, and the Dons have their second base runner of the afternoon. Now bring up the right fielder, Brendan Bradford. Just a hard hit ball through the middle, and Quinto threw a lot of fastballs in his last outing against Maple Mountain. But the Golden Eagles kind of helped him out and chased a couple of pitches outside of the strike zone. And so with nobody out here in the second, it will bring up Brendan Bradford from the right side of the plate. And Quinto comes home. The pitch to Bradford misses low or gets in there at the knees for a called strike. Bradford in that ball game, ready to go, stands in, that open stance in the box, shows bunt, lays it down. Quinto is gonna field it. He'll make a throw to first and throw it down the line. Bradford takes off for second. Briggs Newman will get the wave around third. The throw to the plate will be late, and it's a 1-0 lead for Spanish Fork. Brendan Bradford all the way to third, and with nobody out, the Dons a chance not just to score 1, but a chance to score 2. A heads-up play. Derek Quinto just made a throw that went up came down the baseline, and Spencer Olson just didn't have really a big shot trying to get to that baseball. 1 run in for the Dons, nobody out. The pitch swung out and missed. Josh Cowden, and it's 0-1 on Cowden. And these are the opportunities if you're Spanish Fork and you have to win 2 against a good team like Timpanogos. You have to take advantage of those opportunities. The 0-1 pitch ready to come home, and this one is going to be swung out and missed, and it's 0-2 the count here on Josh Cowden as he kind of chases the breaking pitch that was well out of the zone. Infield up the middle, going to play back deep here, so a ground ball up the middle should get Brendan Bradford home from third. Quinto kicks and delivers this one. That one right on the outside corner, but a called strike 30, and Josh Cowden down on strikes. And that is going to be the third strikeout for Derek Aquinto on the day. And with 1 gone, it'll bring up Tay Newman. Newman, the third baseman for Spanish Fork, had a great relief appearance out of the bullpen for the Dons the other night against Maple Mountain, helping the Dons get into this championship game. The pitch, first one, misses low for a ball. It's 1-0 the count here on Tay Newman. From the stretch, Derek Aquinto already being put into the stretch here in the early going. Here's the pitch on its way. That one's popped up, and that one will be sent foul. And we'll have a 1-1 pitch coming here. Quinto working here from the stretch, takes a look into Jake Brooksby behind the plate. The 1-1 pitch. That one's lined right back through the middle. Base hit past the diving second baseman into center field, past Connor Halford, and it's a 2-0 lead for Spanish Fork as Bradford scores. Just a hard hit on the fastball, and that will spark a visit out to the mound. I believe this is the head coach, Kim Nelson, coming out to have a quick word with Derek Aquinto. And really just the start you were looking for if you're Spanish Fork. Get a couple of hard base hits back through the middle, find a way to get a couple of runners on base, and then see what can happen from there. And that's something Spanish Fork, you're not just going to need that in 1 inning. If you're the Dons today, you're going to need that in almost every inning to find a way to put pressure on this Timpanogos team. Here's Andrew Pintar. Pintar will stand in. Trying to go through and see. The game the other day as Pintar comes home a fastball that misses off the plate. Andrew Pintar was 0 for 3 against Timpanogos the other night. And the 1-0 pitch misses away with the fastball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. The offense was kind of few and far between for the Dons. Brady Brook had a double. Briggs Newman had a base hit. Bradford with a base hit. Tay Newman with a base hit. Jackson Higginson. The 2-0 pitch. Pintar swings through it. And it's 2-1 on Andrew Pintar. So there wasn't a ton of offense if you're Spanish Fork. The other night you had about 6 hits against this Timpanogos team. But if you can get off to a good start here early on, as the 2-0 pitch on its way to Pintar. That one's high. Runner takes off. The throw down is going to be in plenty of time, but it gets through the glove of Connor Halford, and Tay Newman able to advance to second base. Tay Newman was kind of a sitting duck out there at second base. The throw from Jake Brooksby again put right on the money to Connor Halford, and when the ball just, I think, went through and came out of Connor Halford's glove. And now a 2-1 count. Andrew Pintar will stand in here. The pitch on its way. Pintar swings and misses. I believe that makes the count go, I believe it might be a full count, 3-2. And it is. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Andrew Pintar. 1 out, top of the second inning. 2-0 lead for Spanish Fork. Aquinto ready to go from the stretch. Kicks and delivers a breaking ball. Misses ball 4. And Derek Aquinto not as sharp as he was maybe earlier on in the week against Maple Mountain. And now that's going to bring up Jackson Higginson with 1 out. The difficult part, once you get past Jackson Higginson, you go back to the starting lineup with Brady Brook on deck. Runners on at first and second with 1 gone. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Aquinto delivers that one, and Higginson will send that one foul. It almost fell through the netting here, but instead it will roll back behind home plate. No balls and 1 strike. Jake Brooksby will go pick up the baseball. If Spanish Fork does win this ball game, there will be no second 5A game of the night, but we'll have about a 30-minute in between games. They'll get the field ready to go, and we'll play game 2. Here's the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball inside and tight for a ball, and the count evens up. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jackson Higginson. The 4A Lady Dons softball team winning the 4A state championship last night. Congratulations to Coach Don Andrews and company. Pickoff move back to second, and they pick off Tay Newman at second base as a heads-up play. The shortstop, Tyler Cornish, sneaks in behind him, and a big second out there for Timpanogos, and now that will kind of change some of the momentum. Big second out of the inning as Jackson Higginson has a 1 ball, 1 strike count. The pitch on its way to Higginson, that one low and outside. Brooksby fakes the throw back to first, but back there standing is Andrew Pintar. One and 2 the count. The last breaking ball called a strike. Aquinto ready to go from the stretch. Takes a long look over at first to Andrew Pintar. He'll come home. The 1-2 pitch low and outside. A good stop by Jake Brooksby. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on Jackson Higginson. Brady Brook in the on-deck circle for Spanish Fork if the inning continues past Jackson Higginson. Big gap out in left center field if Higginson goes the other way. The 2-2 pitch on its way, and that one is sent the other way, but foul up onto the berm, and we'll do another 2. We'll have another 2-2 pitch coming home to Jackson Higginson. Spanish Fork 2, Timpanogos nothing here on the top of the second inning. Pintar leaning a little bit more towards second. The pickoff move, and Pintar back as throw came to the opposite side of the bag. Spanish Fork in the red tops and white pants that say Dons across the chest. Timpanogos in the white pants and blue tops. I think it says Timpanogos across the chest and white and blue. The pitch on its way. Higginson hits this one to left field. Connor Iyer coming over. It's going to fall for a base hit. Pintar goes to second. Higginson's aboard first. And Spanish Fork back in business with 2 outs. Well, Higginson did go the other way there and wasn't out into the gap, but now the inning goes to Brady Brook. Brook 0 for 1, went down on strikes, but had a very nice at-bat. Worked a 3-2 count, fouled a couple pitches off before looking at swinging and missing at a third strike. Aquinto takes a long look out at second base, and the pitch on its way home. Breaking ball that misses for a ball. It's 1-0 the count here on Brady Brook. Andrew Pintar, you see him there running on at second base for Spanish Fork. He drew a big walk here in the inning. Tyler Cornish playing right behind Pintar. He'll pop back out to his position. That one right back through the box for a base hit. Pintar gets the green light. Higginson will go to third. The ball is misplayed in center by Hamilton. Higginson will have to put the brakes on at third. It's 3-0 Spanish Fork. Brady Brook, however, goes up to second. They're going to give a base hit and then an error on Casey Hamilton, the second error against Timpanogos. And now a base hit from Tanner Argyle, and this one is potentially blown wide open. 3 runs in here in the inning, 3-0 Spanish Fork. Aquinto comes home, the pitch low and inside for ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Tanner Argyle. Jackson Higginson at third. Running on at second is Brady Brook. Could end up being a costly 90 feet for Timpanogos. The 1-0 pitch. Argyle hits this one well to center field. Casey Hamilton, though, backpedaling, takes a few steps, makes the catch, and the inning is over. The Dons, however, send 8 men to the plate. They get 3 runs in the inning. We head to the bottom of the second inning here at Brett Brown Ballpark. Spanish Fork 3, Timpanogos 0. Let's take a moment here on Spanish Fork 17, and let's thank our sponsors for making this broadcast and each and every broadcast possible. I want to thank Two Jacks Pizza, Mikkel Christiansen and Wise Attorneys at Law, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, the Car Guys, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and MVP Sports. We thank them for making these broadcasts each and every week throughout our high school sports season possible. And hopefully our high school sports season here on Spanish Fork 17 will end with a state championship. Who knows what would happen today as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Connor Halford, Jake Brooksby, and Spencer Olson, 4, 5, and 6 coming up as the left-hander Cy Nielsen will go back to work here. He sent Timpanogos down in order 1, 2, 3 back in the first inning, but now he has a 3-0 lead, which may help the sophomore left-hander kind of settle in a little bit, where if he does maybe leave one mistake, it may not end up costing him the entire ball game here compared to going back and forth in a pitcher's duel. Here's Connor Halford. The first pitch on its way home is going to miss low or gets in there at the knees for a called strike. And it's 0-1 on Connor Halford. Nielsen ready to go again on the mound. Takes a long look in, time called, and Josh Cowden wants to go out and have a quick conversation with Cy Nielsen. A very good sized crowd, some people sitting off down on the berm here on the third base side. There's people not just sitting, almost it seems like the entire first base side filled with fans for Spanish Fork. Few kind of empty chairs, but not too many. That pitch inside and just misses a little bit on the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here on Connor Halford. Timpanogos trying to work through this kind of rough start. The 1-1 pitch low for a ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike here on Connor Halford. Cy Nielsen ready to go again as he kicks and delivers this one home. And Halford sends this one foul down the line. And we'll have a 2-2 pitch getting ready to come here to Connor Halford. Halford, Brooksby, and Olsen, 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one swung out of this, strike 3. And the second strikeout for Cy Nielsen. And with one gone, it'll bring up the catcher, Jake Brooksby. Brooksby, wearing number 4, will stand in. Brooksby's been just a solid backstop for Timpanogos throughout his career here for the T-Wolves, as the first pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. A really good class here, graduating in 2017 for Timpanogos. We saw this team for the first time on Spanish Fork 17 when they were sophomores. That one missing for a ball, and it's 1-1. And this was a group that made a deep run as sophomores into the 4A state tournament. And then as juniors, of course, winning the state title. The 1-1 pitch gonna be in there for a called strike at the knees. It's 1-2. And then as seniors trying to win their second straight 4A state championship. Here's the 1-2 pitch about to come home on its way. Brooksby grounds it to third, and Tay Newman kind of mishandles it. Takes a bad hop with the last second, and the first base runner aboard for Timpanogos against Cy Nielsen. And we'll see here how that will be ruled the base hit. So Brooksby aboard on the base hit. The ball just took a bad hop, and now we'll have a runner come in over at first base for Timpanogos. Timpanogos will bring in, that's Logan Johnston, who will run over at first base. Johnston with really good speed will run over at first base with one out. Here's Spencer Olsen, the first baseman. Johnston gets his lead the first pitch, misses low. Good stop by Josh Cowden. In that game the other day, Spencer Olsen was 1 for 3, had a single in the 4-run 5th inning for Timpanogos. Other than that, really, Spanish Fork held the T-Wolves bats at bay. The 1-0 pitch right there for a called strike, and evens the count up at 1 strike. Cy Nielsen, the left-hander, working at a pretty good pace right now for Spanish Fork. Nielsen will throw over and backs their standing is, or diving back is Briggs Newman. Cy Nielsen ready to go. The pitch on its way. That one swung out and missed. 1 strikes the count here on Spencer Olsen. Caden Walker in the on-deck circle for Timpanogos. Another one of those seniors who graduated before the ball game for Timpanogos. Spanish Fork having their graduation yesterday morning. The 1-2 pitch on its way, and that one's right there. Called strike 3. It froze Spencer Olsen. The third strikeout for Cy Nielsen. And there's 2 gone here in the second inning for Caden Walker. The Dons, some of those players having to walk right before the game. Luckily, I believe their graduation was right next door at the UCCU Center. So they were able to go quickly to graduation and quickly get to the ballpark. That one missing for a ball, and it's 1 no strikes. The Dons playing, I guess that graduation for Spanish Fork actually would have been Wednesday. So a very quick opportunity here. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Nielsen will throw over. Back standing is the first base, or is the runner Logan Johnston for Timpanogos. Johnston speed up running for Jake Brooksby. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Nielsen will again just kind of throw a soft throw over to Briggs Newman, just to let everybody know that, and let Logan Johnston know, hey, we know that you're there, and we know you have speed. The pitch, this time home to Caden Walker, gets in there for a called strike 2 on the outside corner, and it's 1 strikes. The count here on Caden Walker. Nielsen looking for that final strike. Kicks and delivers this one right on the outside corner, but gets the called strike, and now it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Caden Walker. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cy Nielsen working here from the stretch. Takes a look over at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's grounded to second. Andrew Pintar up with it. His throw to first in time, and the inning is over. So Timpanogos gets a man on, but they leave him at the end of 2. It's Spanish Fork 3, Timpanogos 1. You're watching the 2017 Class 4A. And, well, we're going to keep it here because I think they called a balk on the pitcher. That's the only thing I can think of. Caden Walker's going to head back into the box. The Dons were already off the field, but moving up to second is Johnston. Only thing I can think of is they called a balk at the last minute. So Caden Walker will be the hitter. It will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. So just basically no last pitch. That extra 90 feet could be big, especially if Walker was to find a way to get a base hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone, bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll have another 1-2 pitch to Caden Walker from Cy Nielsen. The pitch on its way. There's a ground ball over to first, through the right side. The break sign going to be put on as Bradford's throw comes in on a hop to Josh Cowden, and that balk ends up being a big game changer. Is now Timpanogos with runners on the corners and 2 away. Instead of Spanish Fork being out of the inning, and now with 2 gone, it will be the designated hitter Cal Beardsley. Beardsley, wearing number 3, will stand in here ready to go from the right side. The first run of the ball game for Timpanogos, 90 feet away. And the pitch, fastball missing away, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes as you see Logan Johnston at 3rd base running here for Timpanogos. Ready to go. Here's the 1-0 pitch on its way home. A fastball stays high. Ball 2. It's 2-0 on Cal Beardsley. Josh Edmonds, the right fielder for Timpanogos, would hit if the inning continues as Andrew Pintar comes out to have a quick word with Cy Nielsen. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Nielsen taking a long look in behind the plate. Takes a look over at first, and the 2-0 pitch right in there. This time a called strike, and it's 2-1 the count on Cal Beardsley. Caden Walker running over at first after a base hit through the right side. The 2-1 pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle. Argyle with it. Underhand tosses to Andrew Pintar, and now the 2nd inning comes to an end. We've played 2 here from Brent Brown Ballpark. It's Spanish Fork 3, Timpanogos 0. The 2017 Class 4A State Baseball Championship returns after a quick break.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors. There were 2 runners left in the inning. 2 Spanish Fork 3, Timpanogos nothing.
Top of the 3rd inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. It's a 3-0 lead for the Spanish Fork Dons over the Timpanogos Timberwolves in the Class 4A Utah State Baseball Championship game. If Spanish Fork wins this one, they would play a second right around 20 to 30 minutes after. And then that second game would decide the state champion. Here's Cy Nielsen, 0 for 1, struck out in his first at-bat. Takes a curveball that misses away for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count here on Cy Nielsen. ready to go from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch on its way home. There's a fastball that's popped up into right field. Josh Edmonds lost it at first, now makes some last-minute readjustments and makes the catch. And there's one out here in the third inning. So with one gone, it will bring up the first baseman, Briggs Newman. Newman had a single and came around to score a run back in the second inning. Right now, the pitch on its way. That one missing or getting in there for a called strike, and the count moves to no balls and a strike. No balls and one strike to count here on Briggs Newman. The 0-1 pitch on its way home. That one missing away for a ball, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike here on Briggs Newman. Derek Aquinto going back to work here, trying really just to make sure he keeps this one close. The 1-1 pitch, Newman hits this one hard and foul, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch coming home. Infield back deep here for the T-Wolves. From the stretch, ready to go. And the 1-2 pitch on its way. That one's hit well by Briggs Newman. Going back on it now at the last minute. And watching that ball go off the base of the walls, the left fielder Connor Iyer. And into second with a stand-up doubles, Briggs Newman, his second hit of the ball game. And Spanish Fork has another runner in scoring position here, as a nice job by Briggs Newman. He barely missed a home run. Hit the ball well, but just didn't quite get all of it to get it out of here. And out towards left field, the ball carries pretty well throughout the day, but that wind picking up pretty good so far on the afternoon. And with one gone, Brendan Bradford will come to the plate. Bradford ready to go right now in the box. Aquinto checks the runner, and the pitch comes inside and tight, ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Brendan Bradford. Bradford laid down a bunt in his first at-bat and just put it right out in front of home plate. And the pitcher, Derek Aquinto, threw wide of the first base bag and went down the line. That kind of opened everything up in the second. Bradford takes that one right on the outside corner, and the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike here on the Spanish Fork right fielder. The 1-1 pitch about ready to come home. This one, a bunt again shown by Bradford. This time, I think, bunting for a base hit, and didn't pull the bat back in time for a strike. And it's 1-2 the count here on Brendan Bradford. Running on at second base is Briggs Newman. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the third inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch on its way home to Brendan Bradford, high and tight for ball 2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Brendan Bradford. Aquinto checks the runner at second, a long look at Newman, the 2-2 pitch. This one's bounced over deep in the hole, and Tyler Cornish missed the backhand. Briggs Newman coming around third. The relay throw is not going to be a time. It's 4-0 Spanish Fork. Into second on the throw goes Brendan Bradford. And the Dons right now having everything that they needed to go their way, has gone their way through the first 2 1/3 innings. They'll give Bradford there, looks like a base hit. Second time Briggs Newman has scored a run. So they're going to give him a base hit and then give Tyler Cornish, it looks like, an error. The third Timpanogos error as Josh Cowden comes to the plate. Pitch on its way, low and in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1-0 the count. The ball was hit deep enough in the hole, and with it being a high chopper, Brendan Bradford may have beaten it out to first. And then the error probably comes in that allowed Briggs Newman to score, and then the runner to advance to second. There's one's grounded through the left side. Tyler Cornish up with it this time. His throw over in time to get Josh Cowden there for the second out of the inning. And with 2 gone, it will bring up the third baseman, Tay Newman, who had just a hard hit single back through the box in his last at bat. Able to bring home a run back in the second inning. Brendan Bradford running on at third, 90 feet from home here in the top of the third inning. 4-0 Spanish Fork. Aquinto ready to go, kicks and delivers the pitch home. That one in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 here on Tay Newman. Spanish Fork, 4 runs on 7 base hits here in the first 2 2/3. Derek Aquinto ready to go, the 0-1 pitch. That one swung out and missed as Newman chases one off the plate, and it's 0-2 the count on Tay Newman. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Brendan Bradford gets his lead. Aquinto from the stretch kicks and delivers this one, and Newman will foul this one away, and it's 0-2. Jake Brooksby has done a great job behind the plate all week for Timpanogos. You very seldom see a baseball get behind Jake Brooksby behind the plate. Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way home. That one checked his swing there. Brooksby knocks that one down, keeps it in front of him. That's exactly where in that situation Jake Brooksby wants to keep that baseball, is to make sure that it stays in front of him. One ball, 2 strikes here, 2 outs. Aquinto ready to go from the stretch. And he kicks and delivers the 1-2 pitch, and that one's pulled foul as Tay Newman just out in front of the breaking pitch there, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch coming home here momentarily. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Infield back for Timpanogos. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Newman pops this one up into shallow right field. Coming in, Josh Edmonds will make the catch, and the middle of the top half of the third inning is over. Spanish Fork finds a way, though, to add a run here in the third. An RBI single from Brendan Bradford. In fact, I don't think with the error that it will end up being an RBI for Bradford. They leave one. 4-0 Spanish Fork. Let's take a moment here to thank our sponsors on Spanish Fork 17. We want to thank Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Mikel Christiansen and Wise, attorneys at law, Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, Dickerson Automotive, 2 Jacks Pizza, and the Car Guys. We thank them for making each and every broadcast possible here throughout the week and throughout our high school sports season. Hard to believe we started everything back last August with high school football on Spanish Fork 17, and now, well, as you see the crowd, you see some of the clouds beginning to move over the stadium here, but it is a great afternoon for baseball. Lots of people out, some people out onto the berm right now, celebrating. Well, I'm sure some people right now are celebrating school being out. And here's the first pitch to Josh Edmonds. He pops it up into deep right center field. Brady Brook and Brendan Bradford. Nobody's going to get there. Deepest part of the park. Edmonds around second. He'll go into third. And that ball just tailing away, and Timpanogos has a base runner at third with nobody out. And Brendan Bradford, slow to get up. I'm not sure if it's from frustration that he didn't get to the baseball or what. He's walking something off out there. And a nice way, if you're Timpanogos, to start the third inning. You get a leadoff triple, and with nobody out, Casey Hamilton will come to the plate. Hamilton 0 for 1, flew out to Brady Brook in his first plate appearance. And that's the biggest thing right now. You have to make sure you keep the runs off the scoreboard, as the first pitch misses for ball 1 to Casey Hamilton. It's 1 ball and no strikes on the Timpanogos center fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch on its way home. That one rolled foul, and the count evens up here at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count here on Casey Hamilton. Josh Edmonds, you see him there running 90 feet away after the leadoff triple. Time called. I don't think we're in really any big threat of rain or anything today, but a couple of afternoon thunderstorms could kick up as the 1-1 pitch in there for a called strike. It's 1-2 the count here on Josh Edmonds. We've had a nice week of weather, no delays due to weather. It has not been a bad week for the state tournament. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Casey Hamilton on its way. That one's fouled straight back. We'll have another 1-2 pitch coming home. As you see, the Don infield will play back here for Spanish Fork. Bottom of the 3rd inning, a 4-0 lead for the Dons. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be rolled over towards 3rd. That won't get the run home as Tay Newman throws high, but they're going to be able to apply the tag on Hamilton for the first out of the inning. And a big first out for Cy Nielsen. And now with 1 gone, you bring up the pitcher, Derek Aquinto, who will look to try to get the run home. Right now, really all Aquinto has to do, if he can lift one deep enough to the outfield to get him home, then that would work well. If you get just the fly ball to the outfield that can get the run home, hey, that would work as well. Anything right now just to get that run home for Timpanogos. The pitch on its way high and tight, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Aquinto. That one coming up and tight here. The question I think for Spanish Fork could be is, if you win this first game, who do you throw in game 2? 1 ball and no strikes, the count on its way. That one fouled back to the screen, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Timpanogos has only had to play twice this week. They threw Tyler Cornish against Spanish Fork the other day, and I would imagine that Cornish is not available today. The 1-1 pitch swung out and missed, and it's 1-2. Just because of the new pitch count rules, I would imagine that Tyler Cornish threw somewhere between 86 and 110 pitches the other night against the Spanish Fork Dons. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be grounded to first and through the glove of Briggs Newman for a base hit. 1 run will score. That's Edmonds, and Timpanogos is on the board here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A ball that just ate up Briggs Newman at first base. It was a hard hit ball. And we'll see here how they're going to rule this. And now we will see a runner come in over at first base for Timpanogos. That is Tyson Hines, number 20. And they're going to give an error against Briggs Newman for that one there at first. So the Tyler Cornish coming to the plate. Tyson Hines will run over at first. First pitch, missing for a ball. It's 1-0 the count on Cornish. Cornish struck out in his first plate appearance. Ready to go here. 1 ball and no strikes the count. From the stretch, the pitch on its way, a breaking ball. Right on the outside corner, just couldn't cut back on the outside for a strike. It's 2-0 the count here on Tyler Cornish. Timpanogos coming in 27-1, 14-0 in region. The pitch right there on the outside corner, but this time a called strike, and it's 2-1 on Tyler Cornish. From the stretch, ready to go, and the pitch on its way. There's a line drive into left center field. That's going to fall. Going from second to third is Hines. The ball misplayed by Brady Brook. Coming around third, Hines will score. Cornish into third, and just like that, Timpanogos has cut the lead in half. And now a conference on the mound for Spanish Fork, and a visit out by the Spanish Fork pitching coach, as Timpanogos starting to get some of that confidence back, and they're starting the second time through to get some hits off the starting pitcher for the Dons, Cy Nielsen. And this is the hard part with a team like Timpanogos is you have to play a complete 7-inning game, and not saying that the Dons are out of it yet, but that second error by Brady Brook there, the second Spanish Fork error, that allowed 90 extra feet. And now with less than 2 outs, instead of Cornish being on with, my guess is Tyler Cornish gets a double on that. But that's probably all he gets, and potentially Tyson Hines, if the ball's relayed in, he may not have been able to score. And Halford hits this one out to right. Bradford going back on it. He's on the warning track. He jumps. It's off the wall. Cornish will score. Going into third, and going to be there is going to be Connor Halford, and it's a 4-3 ball game. The tying run now sitting 90 feet from home for Timpanogos, as the catcher Jake Brooksby and the 7th man to come to the plate here in the inning will come up for Timpanogos. And that one inside, and nice job by Cowden to keep that one in front of him. Bullpens are quiet right now for both Spanish Fork and Timpanogos. Would imagine neither coach really wanting to go very deep in this one unless they absolutely have to. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Connor Halford with the triple. He is the tying run for the T-Wolves on at third base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one swung out and missed. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count here on Jake Brooksby. Infield back here for Spanish Fork. From the stretch, Nielsen ready to go, the 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to second. It's bobbled by Pintar, kept on the infield, but we're going to be tied at 4 on the infield base hit for Jake Brooksby. Pintar had to make a diving attempt at it. And we'll see, and they will rule that a base hit for Jake Brooksby. And we're tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And here comes Spencer Olson, the first baseman. Logan Johnston coming in to run over at first base. Number 18 will run again for Jake Brooksby. Nielsen comes home. That one's fouled straight back to the screen. No balls and a strike, the count here on Spencer Olson. Olson struck out in his first and only plate appearance of the afternoon. Cy Nielsen right now trying to work through this here. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and he'll throw over. Backstanding is the base runner, Logan Johnston. Here's the 0-1 pitch, ready to come home, and that one on its way is swung out and missed, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. They count here on Spencer Olson. If Nielsen could get the strikeout here, that would be, I think, big just to kind of swing momentum a little bit here and end the streak here by Timpanogos. Nielsen throws over. Timpanogos has had the last 4 men reach base. 3 of those last 4 have scored. The exception right now being Logan Johnston, because he's running over at first. The 0-2 pitch misses high, and it's 1-2 the count here on Spencer Olson. Spanish Fork next year will be at the 4A classification still. Timpanogos, however, they move into 5A Region 8. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Nielsen throws back over. Timpanogos will join Maple Mountain, Wasatch, Springville, I think Skyridge as well. There's probably one that I'm missing too, but The 1-2 pitch, swung out and missed. Strike 3, a big strikeout for Cy Nielsen. Nielsen gets his 4th strikeout of the day, and the 8th man to come to the plate in the inning, Caden Walker, will come to the plate. Walker has a base hit. Walker was up and actually grounded out, but then a late balk call kept the inning alive, and then Walker grounded through the right side on the next pitch for a base hit. Nielsen ready to go. The pitch right on the outside corner. This one hooks in for a called strike, and it's 0-1 here on Caden Walker. Looking ahead to the 4th for the Dons, it will be Andrew Pintar, Jackson Higginson, Brady Brook coming up. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's lined right to Pintar, who again knocks it down, almost a replay. And Logan Johnston's going to try for 3rd. Pintar's throws offline, and Johnston, the leading run for Timpanogos, now 90 feet away. The ball just scorched, and Pintar, literally almost, I think it was 2 batters ago, a similar ball hit. I guess it was Jake Brooksby. A similar ball just hit hard, and Pintar made a diving attempt on it. Again, knocked it down with his glove, and it just kind of skipped away from him. And Cal Beardsley now at the plate with a chance to give Timpanogos their first lead. The pitch on its way, ground ball, pulled foul past head coach Kim Nelson. No balls and a strike to count here on Cal Beardsley. Beardsley grounded out to end the 2nd inning when Timpanogos had runners on the corners. The 0-1 pitch on its way. There's a ground ball, base hit, and Timpanogos has the lead here in the 3rd. Scoring is Logan Johnston, and it is a 5-4 lead for the T-Wolves. Caden Walker goes to 3rd. And now yelling in there somebody to go grab a helmet to run over for Cal Beardsley. I believe that is going to be Dallin Earl, number 2, who will come in to run over at 2nd. No, he's going to run. Yeah, he will run at 2nd for Caden Walker. So Earl will run speed up, and then 2 outs. The inning will continue to a 1-for-1 Cal Beardsley. Or sorry, we'll go to Josh Edmonds. Edmonds led off the inning with a triple. Got all this started against Cy Nielsen. And the pitch on its way, and Edmonds swings through it, no balls and a strike. Spanish Fork looking just to try to get out of the inning, trailing by a run. They were up 4 heading to the bottom of the inning, but then the T-Wolves of bats have exploded here for 5 in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch ready to come home. Nielsen delivers this one, a slider that gets in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2 the count here on Josh Edmonds. Dallin Earl running at 2nd base, Cal Beardsley over to 1st. If this goes to a 2nd game, I could imagine we could see Cal Beardsley on the mound. The 0-2 pitch misses low for a ball, and it's 1-2. Just looking at the other arms that Timpanogos has, Beardsley is the guy that we haven't seen all week. So he'd be the freshest of arms. I don't think Tyler Cornish would be the guy that could go. The 1-2 pitch inside and tight. It hits Edmonds, and the bases are loaded here in the 3rd. Now back to the top of the lineup, and Casey Hamilton, who really with one swing of the bat right now could really open this ball game up. Right now, Hamilton will be the hitter, 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and grounded to 3rd. Still no action in the Spanish Fork bullpen, which makes me think right now that Cy Nielsen's their guy. The pitch swung out and missed by Hamilton, and it's 0-1 the count on Casey Hamilton. 5 runs in here in the inning on 6 hits for Timpanogos. The 0-1 pitch, low and missed for a ball, and the count evens up at 1-1. A good eye there by Casey Hamilton. Spanish Fork will have some work to do in the top of the inning. Cy Nielsen from the stretch takes a look at the runners out at second base and comes home. The pitch, Hamilton hit it hard, but hooked it well foul up onto the top of the berm, and it's 1-2 on Hamilton. Outfield playing pretty medium deep. Bradford and Higginson playing the deepest. Infield back for Spanish Fork, just looking for that final out. Nielsen from the stretch comes home. The breaking ball swung out and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. But Timpanogos does the damage. The T-Wolves have their first lead. Timpanogos 5, Spanish Fork 4. The Dons coming up here on KSL.com, DeseretNews.com as Spanish Fork 17.
Spanish Fork 4.
Top of the 4th inning here in Orem, Utah right now. The Spanish Fork Dons getting ready to come up. And Spanish Fork with some work to do, as it will be Andrew Pintar, Jackson Higginson, and Brady Brook coming up. Derek Aquinto will take the lead now for the first time with the lead in this one. With runners right now for Spanish Fork, the Dons have been able to find a way to get runners on the base pass throughout the day. Andrew Pintar standing in, ready to go. The first pitch misses low, ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Andrew Pintar. Derek Aquinto had a long rest in that Timpanogos dugout. The 1-0 pitch to Andrew Pintar on its way home. That one missing high. And it's 2-0 on Pintar. Pintar, Higginson, Brook, 8, 9, and 1 due up here. Derek Aquinto ready to go on the hill again. Gripping the baseball, comes set on the mound. And the 2-0 pitch. Low, ball 3, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes on Andrew Pintar. Brady Brook, who's 1 for 2. The leadoff hitter would hit second. That one in there's Pintar's taking all the way. Jackson Higginson's 1 for 1 on deck. As we see the left fielder, we see Pintar standing in. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And Pintar, I think, trying to lean into that one. That one in there for a called strike. You saw the back foot there of Pintar, the back leg, that knee all of a sudden kicked out. It'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes on Pintar. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Aquinto. That one's going to be lifted into center field. Casey Hamilton will take a few steps into right center field and makes the catch. And there's 1 gone here in the 4th inning. So here's the left fielder, Jackson Higginson. Higginson had a base hit in the 2nd inning and then got stranded on the base paths. Jackson Higginson standing in, ready to go. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Aquinto misses there, though. That one missing low and off the plate. Ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Jackson Higginson. Aquinto ready to go from the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch is grounded right back off the glove, out towards second, and then off the glove of Connor Halford. And Jackson Higginson's aboard there for Spanish Fork. That one, Aquinto had a chance to glove it. It went off his glove, kicked right to where you wanted it, right towards your second baseman, Connor Halford, and then Halford tried to make the quick turn, and Halford right there just went off the glove of Halford. That will be a base hit, it looks like, for Jackson Higginson. His second hit of the ball game, and here's a 1-for-2 Brady Brook. And now some action going to start getting loose in the Timpanogos bullpen. That went in there for a called strike to Brady Brook. It's Justin Buse, number 12, beginning to throw for Timpanogos. Brook 1-for-2, struck out and singled back in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch on its way. That one's pulled foul down the first baseline, and it will be 0-2 the count here on Brady Brook. Jackson Higginson with very good speed, the runner over at first base. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Aquinto from the stretch kicks and throws over to first, and Higginson back diving. Brady Brook ready to go in the box. No balls and 2 strikes the count, ready to go from the stretch. Aquinto, that one, fastball stays high for ball 1. It's 1-2 the count here on Brady Brook. Brook has had a couple of nice at-bats, has worked the count, has done a great job for Spanish Fork in that leadoff spot. Jackson Higginson takes off, and Brook fouls it away. Jackson Higginson would have stolen that base easy. He got a huge jump there on Derek Aquinto. But instead, Brady Brook, who tried with the hit and run on there to, I think, to try to pull the baseball, and fouled it away instead. 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the top of the 4th inning. Aquinto ready to go from the stretch. Kicks and delivers the 1-2. Brook swings and misses, strike 3, and Brady Brook down on strikes. Derek Aquinto has strikeout number 4 on the afternoon, and now that brings up a 1-for-2 Tanner Argyle. Argyle has singled and flown out to center. And his 2 plate appearances today for Spanish Fork. The single was just a low liner into the right center field gap. And Higginson takes off, and they might have him. The throw from Olson is going to be not in time as Higginson's speed beats the throw. Cornish tried to apply the tag, but Higginson just slid right by him. A heads-up stolen base there for Jackson Higginson when it looked like that Higginson might have been out by a mile. A great job of closing in on the bag and getting there in time. And now a base hit could tie the ball game here with Argyle at the plate. The first pitch to Tanner Argyle misses away. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Tanner Argyle. The pitcher, Cy Nielsen, would hit if the inning continues past Argyle. Aquinto checks the runner, kicks and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Argyle hits this one to left. It's going to fall in front of the left fielder, Connor Ayer. Coming around third, and here comes Higginson. He will score. We're tied at 5 here in the 4th. A big base hit for Jackson Higginson, and that's what happens in the bottom part of the lineup when you're hitting that 9th spot. It may not be the most attractive position to hit it in the lineup, but right there, a nice job with Higginson getting aboard twice and finding ways to score runs. Here's an 0-for-2 Cy Nielsen. Pitch on its way, a breaking ball that misses for ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Nielsen has struck out and flown out to right. From the stretch, Aquinto ready to come home. That one missing low for a ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some of the Spanish Fork students sitting right behind home plate, and they have signs with numbers of players and I think pictures on some, and they've been holding those up, supporting their classmates. Here's the 2-0 pitch, about ready to come home. That one missing. Brooksby acts like he's going to throw down to first, but he doesn't. And it's 3-0 on Cy Nielsen. 5-5 tie here in the top of the 4th inning. Timpanogos wins. They're the 4A state champions. Spanish Fork pulls one out. We play again today. Here's the 3-0 pitch. High, ball 4. And Spanish Fork, Cy Nielsen will draw himself a walk. And that's big because now you bring up a 2-for-2 Briggs Newman. Justin Buse seems to be warm in the pen. He's heading back to the Timpanogos dugout. And now you're going to see Carson Chappell come in and run over at first base for Cy Nielsen. Newman has 2 hits for Spanish Fork. A single and a double. He's came around to score twice. He'll step out, now stands back in. Tanner Argyle at second, Carson Chappell running over at first. The pitch to Briggs Newman, a fastball misses high. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Derek Quinto trying to work through it. Spanish Fork with 2 runners on base here. Quinto from the stretch takes a look at Argyle at second. The pitch on its way home. That one missing low. Ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. The count here on Briggs Newman. Working here from the stretch, the right-hander Quinto. Sorry, the left-hander Quinto. Comes set, ready to go again. Halford pops back out as he came in towards second. That one to the backstop, gets past Jake Brooksby, rolls up onto the net and out of play, and that will be a dead ball. So the runners will only get one base. They'll send Argyle back to second or back to third. The runners there will move up, and now a base hit for Briggs Newman here with 2 outs. As that pitch just bounced in, and I haven't seen them before where they've come up and rolled, up the net to be out of play. But a base hit here probably gives Spanish Fork a 2-run lead. Ready to go. Briggs Newman at the dish. It's a 3-0 count on Newman. And the pitch on its way misses, ball 4, and Spanish Fork has loaded the bases here in the 4th. And Brendan Bradford and Kim Nelson's going to come out of the dugout, and we may end up having a pitching change here at the ballpark. Justin Buse has been throwing in the bullpen, and if he would be ready here now, and it will be, we will have a pitching change. Let's take a break here on Spanish Fork 17, KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. We come back, we'll introduce you to the new pitcher, Dons, with the bases loaded here on Spanish Fork 17, KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Justin Buse, the right-hander, will take over. Derek Quinto will stay in the game and move out to left field. And the bases are loaded for Brendan Bradford. The first pitch, a pitch that comes in and misses for ball 1. Bradford has reached on an error and singled back in the 3rd. You'll take that single that he got last inning again here, and Bradford fouls this one back to the screen. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So the day for Derek Aquinto comes to an end. Argyle at third, Chappell at second. Over at first is Briggs Newman. Justin Buse from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Bradford hits this one down the right field line. Edmonds on the run. He will make the catch. And the top of the inning is over. A nice job there by Josh Edmonds to find a way to get to it. And the Dons leave the bases loaded here in the fourth. They do get one run, however, back to tie the ball game. But with those 3 runs left on base, a big opportunity squandered. A good job by Justin Buse for Timpanogos to get out of the jam. And let's take a moment here to thank our sponsors on Spanish Fork 17. We want to thank the Car Guys, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Dickerson Automotive, Mikkel Christiansen and Wise Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance. We thank everybody for making these broadcasts possible across Spanish Fork 17 and wherever you watch. You can catch replays of a lot of our broadcasts on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Cy Nielsen will go back to work here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As you see, a very nice sized crowd settling in here, and lots of red on that first base side as Timpanogos having a chance now to try to regain the lead. It will be Derek Aquinto, Tyler Cornish, and Connor Halford coming up. The kind of the middle part and a very tough part in this Spanish Fork Dons lineup, and Cy Nielsen hopefully can navigate it a little bit better than he navigated it back in the 3rd inning. Aquinto reached on an error, Cornish doubled, and then Halford had the triple. It's a tough part of the lineup, and we'll see what Cy Nielsen does here. Derek Aquinto will stand in and lead it off. Aquinto is 0 for 2 officially, popped out to second and reached on an error. Hit a ball hard right at Briggs Newman, but it just went off the glove of Newman and ended up being an error against the first baseman for Spanish Fork. The first pitch misses low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, the count here on Derek Aquinto. The 1-0 pitch, Nielsen comes home, that one missing low and away, ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. No action in the Spanish Fork bullpen. The big question for the Dons is how many arms do they have left in that bullpen, with having to play twice yesterday, twice on Wednesday, including a big win over Maple Mountain. The 2-0 pitch, that one in there for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Now, win over Maple Mountain, it may have looked like for a while that Maple Mountain might pull the upset, so to speak, and advance to the state championship. The 2-1 on its way home, that one low, ball 3, and it's 3 balls and a strike on Derek Aquinto. But Spanish Fork able to find a way to rally. Bottom of the 7th inning, a walk-off hit. The 3-1 pitch on its way, swung on and missed. Strike 2, it's 3-2 on Aquinto. That got the Dons back to this 4A state championship game. The 3-2 pitch on its way, that one's gonna be pulled foul, and it's 3-2. The 3rd time in 4 years that Spanish Fork has played in a state championship game. 2014 losing to Bountiful, beating Maple Mountain in 2015. The 3-2 pitch, high, ball 4, and Aquinto is aboard here to start the bottom of the 4th inning for Timpanogos. We'll see if they go to the speed up runner. Doesn't look like it here with Aquinto now playing the outfield. They probably didn't want to take any shot with him earlier getting hurt, especially being on the mound. Here's Tyler Cornish, 1 for 2, a strikeout and a double for the Timpanogos shortstop. Pitch on its way to Cornish, who swings through it, fouls it away, and it's 0-1 as he fouled it off, I believe, the catcher Josh Cowden. Bottom of the 4th inning, we're tied at 5 here at the 4A state championship game. Timpanogos wins 1, they're the state champs. Spanish Fork wins. We take a 30-minute break and play the second one. The pitch, fastball missing off the plate, and the count evens up here at 1 ball and 1 strike. Both of these teams pretty fresh, with Spanish Fork playing one additional game this week, but only the one additional game. Nielsen ready from the stretch, comes home, break here, fastball missing away, ball two. 2 balls and a strike to count. Here on Tyler Cornish. Nielsen seems to be laboring, really cruised through the first 2 innings of the ball game against this Timpanogos team. Just really kind of put it on cruise control. Got a lot of outs that he needed, but really labored in the 5-run 3rd inning. That one's popped up into shallow right field. Andrew Pintar going out, backpedaling, and he's going to drop the baseball. Brady Brook has to come up with it. It will finally be Pintar who will run it back in, and again, Timpanogos catches a big break. Runners will be on 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Big break. That will be the 9th hit for Timpanogos, and head coach Casey Nelson going to come out of the dugout, and I would imagine we're going to have, there's no action in their bullpen, but I would think here with head coach Casey Nelson coming out that it's probably a good chance we're going to have a pitching change or a miscommunication or something here, as he'll have a talk with the entire infield. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Timpanogos scoring 5 in the 3rd inning. They get the first 2 men on base here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and now an opportunity to potentially regain the lead here. Spanish Fork has played Timpanogos very tough today, almost matching the T-Wolves run for run. Conference on the mound over as Casey Nelson goes out and has a conversation with his infield, and now with nobody out, Connor Halford will be the hitter. Halford 1 for 2 is struck out and also had an RBI triple back in the 3rd. That RBI triple is a ball that just kind of kept carrying out to right field. Ready to go here from the stretch. Cy Nielsen from the stretch will look the runner back to 2nd. No action in the bullpen for Spanish Fork. Timpanogos, we saw them make a pitching change. And here's a bunt right back to the pitcher. Nielsen's only play is going to be first. Got to hurry, and he got him just in the nick of time. And the Timpanogos bench not happy. Timpanogos' head coach, Kim Nelson, comes out of the dugout, and he's going to go out and have a conversation with the base umpire about that call. It was a very close play. From here, from my vantage point, I didn't think he was going to get him. I believe that's Lyle Mangum, our first base umpire. That will, though, move the runners up into scoring position. We have the sacrifice laid down. We don't have a television replay to be able to see that, but it would have been a very close play at first base. Spanish Fork, though, with 1 out, will now have to bring the infield in. Jake Brooksby will be the hitter. Brooksby's 2 for 2, including an RBI single in his last at-bat. Cy Nielsen really in need of a strikeout here. Pitch on its way, and Brooksby swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1 on Jake Brooksby. Derek Aquinto running to 3rd base. At 2nd, it's Tyler Cornish. Jake Brooksby right here's the hitter. The 0-1 pitch about ready to come home as Nielsen winds and delivers, and that one's lined into left field for a base hit. That's going to score Aquinto. Here comes Tyler Cornish around 3rd. He will score, and Timpanogos has a 7-5 lead here in the 4th. The 3rd hit for Brooksby. This time it brings home a run. He's now got a couple of RBIs on the night and a 7-5 lead right now here in this one. 1 gone, as it will be Spencer Olson. Olson struck out twice in his at-bats today. The pitch on its way. That one gets in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 on Spencer Olson. Olson with a pair of strikeouts. Right now, Cy Nielsen trying to get out of the inning here. For Spanish Fork in the fifth, it will be Cowden, Tay Newman, and Andrew Pintar. That one swung out and missed. Cowden's throw down to get the runner is in time, and they got him for the second out of the inning. Logan Johnston was nailed. A great throw again by Josh Cowden, put right over the bag to allow Argyle the tag. And with 2 outs, Spencer Olson now he's down on the count, 0-2 here, with 2 gone in the inning. The pitch on its way, a fastball. That one missing for ball 1. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Spencer Olson. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's looped right to short. Briggs Newman runs it down, and the 4th inning comes to an end. Timpanogos regains the lead, though, with 2 in the 4th. It's T-Wolves 7, Spanish Fork 5. You're watching the 2017 Class 4A State Baseball Championship on KSL.com, DeseretNews.com, and Spanish Fork 17. Top of the 5th inning, Spanish Fork trailing Timpanogos 7-5, and the Dons have some work to do here in the inning, as it will be Josh Cowden to lead it off. Cowden, Tay Newman, Andrew Pintar coming up. And the pitch on its way from Cowden, or to Cowden, he grounds it right to second. Connor Halford is there, and there's 1 away here in the 5th. Just on the routine ground ball, they get the nice second out of the inning. And now a 1-for-2 Tay Newman coming to the plate. Newman had a single in the 2nd and flew out to right. Back in the 5th. Ready to go, the pitch on its way, and Newman takes that one in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Buse gonna give Spanish Fork a lot different of a look than Derek Aquinto, as Brendan Bradford, it appears, starts to get loose down in the bullpen, and Newman lines that one through, back up the middle for a base hit. A nice second hit of the ball game for Tay Newman. He's 2 for 3. And now we'll bring up Andrew Pintar. The Dons have gotten 10 hits off of this Timpanogos pitching staff, but they've also allowed 10 hits and 7 runs. So Brendan Bradford, who we see him throwing down in the bullpen, he could end up being the guy to come in and stop the T-Wolves bats. Here's Pintar. That one misses for a ball. It's 1-0 the count on Andrew Pintar. Pintar walked and scored a run in the 2nd, flew out to center in the 4th. From the stretch, Buse kicks and delivers. This one inside and tight, and it hits Pintar. And Spanish Fork now with runners on at 1st and 2nd. And Jackson Higginson, who's 2 for 2 today for Spanish Fork, will be the hitter. The tough thing with Higginson is he has really good speed. And now you got some good speed on the base paths in Tay Newman and Andrew Pintar. And if Higginson here can just continue just to find a way to get the ball to the outfield, especially to find some pasture out there, let guys run for a little while. Runners on at 1st and 2nd with 1 gone. Pitch on its way, that one low, ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Jackson Higginson. Higginson singled in the 2nd and then singled in the 4th and came around to score the lone run of the 4th inning for Spanish Fork. Buse ready to go, taking a look at 2nd, comes home the 1-0 pitch. Higginson fouls that one back to the screen, and it will be 1 ball and 1 strike. Spanish Fork, the visiting team, trying to force a second game for the 4A state championship. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Ready to go. Runners on at first and second. From the stretch, Buse checks second, comes home. And that one's going to be grounded through the left side. Knocked down by Cornish. His only play is going to be second, but the throw is low and not able to be scooped out by Halford. And the bases are full here for Spanish Fork. Jackson Higginson now 3 for 3 on the afternoon. As I'm assuming they're going to give him a base hit and not a fielder's choice because the ball was hit so deep in the hole that Higginson would have beaten that out. We'll have to see. I'm going to rule it a base hit in the scorebook, and it looks like they put the base hit up on the board here as well. Base is full for Brady Brook. He hits this one into shallow left field. That's going to fall. Pintar scores. Newman scores. Pintar trying to score. He is safe underneath the tag, and we're tied at 7. The second hit of the ball game for Brady Brook. This one just an opposite field flare, and Derek Aquinto made a great throw. And they're going to, I think, appeal is what they're going to appeal right now, the third. And they're going to, I think, appeal right now to home. It looks like so they want to. They appealed the third, and he was safe. And they're going to appeal again, and he's safe. What they're doing, they're making sure there if the runner hadn't touched the base and they throw over and the umpire calls him out if he missed the bag. The runner there, it looks like, didn't miss the bag. Good speed now on the base paths with 1 out for Tanner Argyle. Buse kicks and delivers this one home, and that one in there for a called strike to Argyle. Tanner Argyle, a pair of base hits, is also flown out to center. 1 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. Higginson at second, Brady Brook over at first. The 0-1 pitch, swung out and missed, and it's 0-2 the count on Tanner Argyle. Justin Buse trying to work out of it here. Cy Nielsen in the on-deck circle. The pickoff move, and back is Jackson Higginson. A left-hander beginning to throw down in the Timpanogos bullpen. That is Cal Beardsley. We thought maybe Beardsley might be the guy if we go to game 2, but the pitch on its way, a fastball, misses for a ball. It's 1-2. And it appears that Timpanogos, obviously they don't want to play a second game. Beardsley starting to throw down in the pen for Timpanogos if needed. The 1-2 pitch. Low and in the dirt, a good stop by Brooksby, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. I wouldn't think that Tyler Cornish, after throwing against Spanish Fork on Wednesday, would be available quite yet. I would think if we played tomorrow, it might be a different story, but the 2-2 pitch about ready to come home, and that one low ball 3, and the count goes to 3-2 on Tanner Argyle. And not that you want a coach to play 2, but you want to at least kind of have a plan A and a plan B, and I guess maybe your emergency plan if you have to go to a second game today to decide the state champion. Justin Buse from the stretch takes a look at Higginson at second. 3-2 pitch is ball 4, and the bases are full for Spanish Fork for the second straight inning. And great speed on the base pass as Cy Nielsen comes to the plate. Nielsen has struck out, has flown out to right, and walked in his last at bat. Again, a fly ball to the outfield here with the speed of Jackson Higginson. That would give Spanish Fork the lead. And now Kim Nelson going to come out of the dugout, and we'll see. I believe that's head coach Kim Nelson anyway. They do have Beardsley, who appears to be just about ready, and he's starting to walk off that mound. I'm thinking they might be thinking a pitching change here to face Nielsen. You're getting into the heart of the Spanish Fork order. Briggs Newman's on deck, and then Brendan Bradford. But no sign yet anyway that they're going to go to the pen. I think maybe just stalling here to give Cal Beardsley another minute or two to get loose. Well, the conference will break up on the mound, and Still in the game will be the right-hander Justin Buse. We're tied at 7 here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 runs in for the Dons. Running over at third base, Jackson Higginson, Brady Brook at second, Tanner Argyle at first. Buse from the stretch, ready to go, and the pitch on its way is fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike. The breaking ball there got him to foul back to the screen, and it's 0-1 the count here on Cy Nielsen. Nielsen with a slightly open stance. Buse ready to go from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Swung out, popped up. This may not be deep enough to get the run home. It likely won't. Halford will give way to Edmonds, who makes the catch. Higginson will have to hold. And about the one thing you didn't want if you're Spanish Fork was a shallow pop-up in to right center field. And with 2 gone in the inning now, it all comes up to Briggs Newman. The Dons left the bases loaded in the 4th inning. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity twice in a row. Briggs Newman, a pair of hits, 2 runs scored. He's been aboard all 3 times today. He was the last pitcher to face Derek Aquinto. And now we'll have a visit out to the mound, and the day for Justin Buse will come to an end. Cal Beardsley appears to be the new pitcher. We'll have a pitching change here at the ballpark. We'll take a break. Spanish Fork and Timpanogos tied at 7. The Dons threatening, however. Bases full. Briggs Newman at bat after the break. Timpanogos will turn to the left-hander, Cal Beardsley, with the bases full of Dons, and right now, Spanish Fork an opportunity to capitalize. Briggs Newman will be the hitter. The thing I'm kind of surprised with, that right now they would decide to make the switch, is now you have a lefty versus righty matchup, and you have a hitter in Briggs Newman who had 2 base hits off your starting pitcher, Derek Aquinto. And so now just kind of surprised that Cal Beardsley, who's a left-handed pitcher, would come in this situation. Nonetheless, it'll be Beardsley against Newman here. The pitch on its way, and Newman took a big cut and came up empty. No balls and a strike. Bases full for the Dons. Higginson at third, Brook at second, Argyle at first. Time called, and Briggs Newman wants to step out of the batter's box. Just approaching 3:30. This game about 1 hour and 45 minutes long. Bases full for the Dons, trying to open up this ball game here. Lots of offense, each team with 7 runs. Each team with 10 or more hits. Each team has left 5 men on base to this point of the ball game. The 0-1 pitch on its way, and that one, Newman just kind of check swings, pops this one up over second. The runner is going to be, and now the question is, they're going to call the runner out for interference. And a huge play right there. Casey Nelson's going to come out. They're going to say that the runner at first, Tanner Argyle, interfered with Connor Halford to make the play, and that will end the 5th inning, the threat for the Dons. So Brendan Bradford was standing there waiting to come to the plate, but it appears to be the inning will be over right now. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Dons get 2 back, however, here in the 5th. We're tied at 7. However, They strand the bases loaded, which ends up being probably something that they would want back if they could do it over. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17. We want to thank the Car Guys, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Dickerson Automotive, Mikkel Christiansen and Wise Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, and Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance. We thank everybody for making these broadcasts possible as the high school baseball season coming to an end today here on Spanish Fork 17. Timpanogos and Spanish Fork, somebody's going to take home some hardware before this one's over. We also want to welcome those watching today on live.ksl.com and also DeseretNews.com, as we got a good one here in the 4A state championship between Spanish Fork and Timpanogos, the last 2 state champions playing to win another state title. It'll be Caden Walker, Cal Beardsley, and Josh Edmonds coming up here for Timpanogos. Caden Walker's 2 for 2. The left-hander Cy Nielsen will begin the 5th inning here for Spanish Fork. And the first pitch on its way. Walker hits this one into right center field. Brady Brook coming on strong. He's going to dive, and he made the catch for the first out of the inning. A diving catch by Brady Brook. Maybe took extra bases away from Caden Walker. A highlight reel catch just laying out in center field. And with 1 out, here's Cal Beardsley. And that's just what you needed right now if you're Spanish Fork, something to kind of get that first out of the inning. Cal Beardsley takes a first pitch called strike, and it's 0-1 on Cal Beardsley. Beardsley 1 for 2, hit into a fielder's choice, had a single in the 3rd. And the 0-1 pitch on its way home. Beardsley lines this one into left field for a base hit. And Timpanogos has the leading man on in their pitcher. The second hit for Cal Beardsley. And now I'm imagining we'll see someone go in and run over at first base for Beardsley. Trying to see who it's going to be. Caden Walker is going to head down to the bullpen and start to throw. And we'll see. It looks like it is going to be, that's Tyson Hines coming in to run over at first base. So Hines will run for Beardsley here in the 5th. Caden Walker beginning to get loose down in the bullpen. It wouldn't be surprising to see them turn to like a Caden Walker, or turn to somebody else out of that bullpen just to maybe hold Beardsley back for game 2. There's a ground ball to second. This could be 2. Argyle takes it to first himself, throws to first high and off the glove of Briggs Newman, so Edmonds will reach. And instead of having the inning over, you have 2 outs and a runner at first. Argyle, looks like the slide there from the runner over at first, that was Hines, broke up the double play. And head coach Casey Nelson going to come out, and I think he's going to have a similar conversation to the fact that didn't he interfere. Nelson's not heading out to the mound. He's heading out to the third base umpire right here. And I think what they're going to talk about is, did he interfere with Tanner Argyle's ability to make the throw? Right there was a similar call that they called earlier on interference against Spanish Fork to end the inning. So you have to kind of understand. They'll talk about it looks like, right here. And if they do overturn it and call catchers and call runners interference, it would end the inning. Casey Nelson having a long conversation right here. In the top of the 5th inning, if you're just joining us, Briggs Newman hit a ground ball. Tanner Argyle was running through the baseline, and his feet kind of got tripped up with Connor Halford's, and they called it runner's interference, and it ended the inning. So now the umpires are going to talk about it, and Casey Nelson has explained his point right here as he comes walking off the field back over the Spanish Fork dugout. I haven't seen them all week when they've had these conversations overturn a call, but we'll see here what the call is going to end up being. Our home plate umpire will make it here in a moment, and they're going to call him safe. They're going to say it was not catcher's interference. And now, so Edmonds will reach on what will be end up basically being a fielder's choice. Beardsley retired, and with 2 outs, back to the top of the lineup, here's Casey Hamilton. Hamilton 0 for 4 in the state championship game for Timpanogos. Standing in, ready to go, and the 0-2 pitch, or the first pitch, low and in the dirt for a ball. It's 1-0 the count here on Hamilton. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 7-7 tie. Spanish Fork had a chance to turn 2 and get out of it. Nielsen will kick and deliver this one low and in the dirt for a ball, and it's 2-0 the count. Caden Walker getting loose down in the Timpanogos bullpen for the T-Wolves. You would really like it if Cy Nielsen could get Casey Hamilton, where you didn't have to face Derek Aquinto, Tyler Cornish, and Connor Halford with runners on the base paths. Here's the 2-0 pitch on its way from Nielsen right there for a called strike, and it's 2-1 the count here on Casey Hamilton. Nielsen ready to go from the stretch, kicks and delivers a slow breaking ball that got in there on the outside corner. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That corner has seemed to be going to the pitchers all afternoon. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch on its way. Hamilton hits this one high and deep to left field. That ball is gone. A 2-run homer, and Timpanogos has regained the lead at 9-7. An absolute shot off the bat that almost completely left the boundaries of the stadium. And you knew that Casey Hamilton knew he had all of it with the little bat flip. And here's Derek Aquinto. The first pitch, a fastball, stays high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes here on Derek Aquinto. Aquinto's popped out, reached down in there and walked. And he swings there and misses. It's 1-1 the count. So once again, Spanish Fork will have to try to play from behind here in the 6th. Or when they come up, I should say, in the 6th. That one right on the outside corner, but missed for a ball. And it's 2-1. They count on Derek Aquinto. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one low, or gets in there for a called strike, and the count evens up at 2-2. Spanish Fork has had their opportunities. The last 2 innings, they've had the bases low. The bases have been full as Aquinto pops this one up, and that one goes foul. And both times that they've had the bases loaded, they haven't been able to get the run home. So that's something that will come back to haunt the Dons if they don't pull this one out. The 2-2 pitch swung out and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. The damage is done, though. Timpanogos regains the lead, a 2-run homer off the bat at Casey Hamilton. We head to the 6th. It's Timpanogos 9, Spanish Fork 7. You're watching high school baseball on Spanish Fork 17, KSL.com, and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 6th inning here on KSL.com, DeseretNews.com, and Spanish Fork 17. Well, the Dons had the early lead, but then Timpanogos has had the lead the rest of the way. as it will be Brendan Bradford who will stand in to lead it right here. And the first pitch misses for a ball to Brendan Bradford. It will be Bradford, Cowden, and Tay Newman coming up here against Cal Beardsley. The 1-0 pitch on its way, and that one's going to be fisted towards second. Halford charges. His throw to first is in time. There's one gone here in the sixth. So one out here for Brendan Bradford, and it will bring up the catcher, Josh Cowden. Cowden has struck out, grounded out twice on the afternoon for Spanish Fork. The pitch on its way to Cowden. That one's in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. The Dons need some runs, and they need some runs quick. You just kind of get the feel that that home run by Casey Hamilton, time called before Beardsley could come home. You just kind of feel like after the 2-run homer from Casey Hamilton, the air was let out of the stadium. Spanish Fork had some momentum there, had some opportunities, and just couldn't quite get it done. No balls and a strike to count. Beardsley kicks and delivers this one low into the backstop, and the count will move to 1 ball and 1 strike here on Joshua Cowden. Spanish Fork has 5 outs to work with. As Josh Cowden lines one through the left side for a base hit. So Cowden is aboard with 1 out here in the 6th inning, and the tying run coming to the plate here in Tay Newman, who's 2 for 2. So it hasn't been a problem for Spanish Fork giving up or finding ways to get base hits. It's been more of keeping the other team off the scoreboard. Riley Hess will come in to run speed up over at first for Josh Cowden. And Tay Newman, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits. You're looking for Newman here to continue what he's done all day. If you could get a line drive maybe out into the gap or something here that goes deep into the wall, maybe cause some havoc on the base paths. Riley Hess gets his lead at first. The pitch in there for a called strike to Tay Newman. It's 0-1. Quinto in left is playing more out towards left center. Big gap down the line. Breaking ball misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Big gap out in left center field as well. This is a pretty big ballpark, especially in the right center field to left center field gaps for outfielders, especially high school outfielders, to have to play. Pickoff move, and Hess is diving back safely. Spanish Fork 7, Timpanogos 9, top of the 6th inning. Scheduled to play 7. Cal Beardsley on the mound right now for Timpanogos. The 1-1 pitch is going to be hit well into right field for a base hit in front of Edmonds, and Spanish Fork has back-to-back base runners aboard here in the 6th inning. The tying run now on the base paths. The leading run coming to the plate in Andrew Pintar. Pintar has scored twice, has reached when he's been walked, and has been hit by a pitch on the day. This has been a pretty good game of offense here this afternoon. 1 gone in the 6th inning. The first pitch about to come home from Beardsley to Pintar, and that ball's going to be lifted into center field. Casey Hamilton's right there, though. He'll make the catch. And with 2 outs, it all comes to Jackson Higginson here in the 6th. Higginson is 3 for 3 with all 3 coming on base hits. Right now, you would take another Jackson Higginson base hit. Lefty on lefty matchup. Beardsley ready to come home to Higginson. The pitch is swung out and lifted into shallow left center down the line. Long run. Quinto coming in makes the catch. And the inning is over. Spanish Fork puts 2 on in the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It will be Tyler Cornish, Connor Halford, and Jake Brooksby coming up. They'll face a new pitcher in Brendan Bradford. We'll take a moment here to thank our sponsors on Spanish Fork 17. We want to thank the car guys, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen and Wise Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, and also MVP Sports for making all of our broadcasts this year possible, as right now the Dons are down to their final 3 offensive outs to keep their season alive, and Timpanogos coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, looking to see if they can maybe add a run or two of insurance to the 2-run lead. As you see the Dons faithful here, lots of red caps here at the ballpark and sunglasses today, as it is, you can see that dividing line right where there's middle of your screen there, those empty seats. That's kind of where the dividing line between red over to kind of a bluish green happens. As you see there, the Timpanogos faithful, they're excited. 3 outs away from repeating as 4A state champs. So Tyler Cornish, who's 2 for 3 with a double and a single coming up. Brendan Bradford will be the new pitcher for Spanish Fork. He'll try to come in and just get a 1-2-3 inning. Cy Nielsen goes out into left field, goes out to right for Spanish Fork. The Dons in the 7th will have the top of the lineup. Brady Brook, Tanner Argyle, and Cy Nielsen coming up. The first pitch on its way home, and that one's going to be chopped foul. No balls and a strike to count here on Tyler Cornish. Cornish is 2 for 3, has scored 2 of the Timpanogos 9 runs. The T-Wolves were held off the board in the first 2 innings by Cy Nielsen. Cornish hits this one down the right field line. Nielsen will give it a look, but it's well foul, and be 0-2 the count here on Cy Nielsen. Or here on Tyler Cornish, I mean. So the infield will play back here for Spanish Fork. Brendan Bradford trying to keep the T-Wolves off the board as Cornish pops this one up down the line. Going to be a long run. Briggs Newman's going to give away. Andrew Pintar will run it down. There's 1 away here in the 6th. Nice long run there for Andrew Pintar, and with 1 gone, here's Connor Halford. Halford has struck out, had an RBI triple in the 3rd, and had a sacrifice back in the 4th. Ready to go here with 1 gone. The pitch on its way, right over for a called strike. It's 0-1 here on Connor Halford. Ready to go, Brendan Bradford on its way. That one's misses for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike here on Brendan Bradford. From Brendan Bradford to Connor Halford. The 1-2 pitch, getting in there for a called strike 2, maybe a high strike there. And it's 1-2 the count here on Connor Halford. Bradford kicks and delivers the 0-2. That one just off the plate for a ball. And the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Connor Halford. Bradford kicks and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Right again, just missing off the plate, ball 3. It's 3-2 on Connor Halford. Timpanogos 9, Spanish Fork 7, bottom of the 6th inning. As Bradford comes home, 3-2 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove, strike 3. The first strikeout for Brendan Bradford. And now that'll bring up a 3 for 3 Jake Brooksby. Brooksby has 3 RBIs for Timpanogos, 3 of the 9. He's had a very good game at the plate, and the pitch on its way. And that one's going to miss for a ball, 1-0. The Dons will have some work to do on the top of the 7th inning. 2 runs to tie, 3 to take the lead. The 1-0 pitch misses for a ball, and it's 2-0 the count. Spanish Fork has been able to find ways, though, here in the tournament of rallying. They've done well in those late game situations. The 2-0 pitch swung out and missed. It's 2-1 the count on Jake Brooksby. Ready to go. Here's the pitch. Brooksby swings through it and comes up empty. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brendan Bradford a strike away from putting up a 0. The first time the Dons have done that since the 2nd. Pitch. Brooksby swings and misses. Strike 3. And we head to the 7th. Last chance for the Dons. They need 2 runs to tie, 3 to take the lead. Timpanogos 3 outs away from a 4A state title. Well, the top of the 7th inning getting ready to start, and Timpanogos doesn't have their pitcher on the mound yet. Here comes Cal Beardsley, who will head out as the Timpanogos faithful on their feet right now. The T-Wolves 3 outs away from back-to-back state championships. For Timpanogos head coach, right now Timpanogos' head coach, Kim Nelson's had a very nice career here. This would make his 8th state championship. He won 2 at American Fork in 84-85. Won them in 2002, 2004, 2005 here at Timpanogos, 2008, and also won last year in 2016. So here comes Brady Brook. It will be Brook, Argyle, and Nielsen. Brook 2 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 strikeouts on the day. The first pitch on its way to Brook, a fastball off the plate, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The biggest thing Spanish Fork needs right now is base runners. Beardsley from the stretch comes home. That one in there for a called strike, and it evens the count up a 1-on-1 or 1-and-1 on Brady Brook. See that look right over the Spanish Fork dugout. Here's the 1-1 pitch on its way. Brook grounds this one to second. Halford up with it. His throw to first is in time, and Timpanogos is 2 outs away from a state title. Here's Tanner Argyle, who's 2 for 3 with a walk on the day. Argyle's reached twice, or reached in 3 of his at-bats. As he stands in, time called, and Argyle will step out of the box. 9-7 lead for Timpanogos. And now time called as Argyle will stand back in the batter's box here. Spanish Fork first needs to get somebody on base. And that one there for a called strike. And 0-1 the count here on Tanner Argyle. No balls and a strike to count on the Spanish Fork shortstop. The 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike 2, and it's 0-2 on Tanner Argyle. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 on its way, and that one's fouled back to the screen. Cy Nielsen, the sophomore, in the on-deck circle for Spanish Fork. If the inning continues right here. Nielsen is 0 for 3 with a walk. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The pitch on its way. That one's bounced over towards third. Caden Walker up with it. His throw on spot, and there's 2 away here in the 7th. Spanish Fork down to their final out as Cy Nielsen will stride to the plate. Nielsen has struck out, has flown out to right twice and walked. Cal Beardsley, number 3, working on the mound for Timpanogos. Came in relief, and the pitch on its way misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. On deck, Briggs Newman. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The pitch on its way. That one right off the plate. Ball 2. It's 2-0. The count here on Cy Nielsen. Timpanogos fans, the whole left side of the stadium standing. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The pitch on its way. Misses. Ball 3. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Cy Nielsen, just if he can get on anyway right now, the Dons will take it. The 3-0 pitch misses. Ball 4. So Nielsen reaches with 2 outs, bringing the tying run to the plate in Briggs Newman. Newman has a single and a double, 2 runs scored. He's walked. And also, he was at the plate when, as we'll see Carson Chappell come in to run. It was Briggs Newman at the plate, and he had a ground ball towards second. Tanner Argyle, with the bases loaded, was running on the base. Connor Halford misplayed the baseball, but they're saying when the legs got kind of tripped up, they called Tanner Argyle out for interference. And Briggs Newman right now, Spanish Fork, just trying to buy a little more time, trying to buy another hitter. Newman has a pair of hits on the day, coming back in the 2nd and 3rd when Spanish Fork scored 4 of their 7 runs. Here's the pitch on its way home, and that one's fouled straight back to the screen. No balls and a strike on Briggs Newman. Carson Chappell running over at first base. No balls and a strike, ready to go. And the 0-1 pitch, right on the outside corner. That one's in there for a called strike. It evens, moves the count to 0-2. Timpanogos fans on their feet. They're 1 strike away from a state title. From the stretch, Beardsley kicks and delivers the 0-2 right off the plate for a ball. It's 1-2. The Timpanogos faithful wanted that one there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in this top of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch on its way is lined into right field. It's going to fall for a base hit in front of Josh Edmonds. Spanish Fork is still alive as Brendan Bradford comes to the plate. The tying run now on the base paths here in Briggs Newman. Bradford has reached on an error single, flown out to right, and grounded to second in his plate appearances today. Time called, and I think we're going to have a speed-up runner over at first in this case. I think Spanish Fork's going to put as much speed on the base paths as they can. And Noah Conway, number 19, I believe, is going to end up being the runner over at first for Briggs Newman. The whole point of it is so that way a ball in the gap or something down the line potentially scores the tying run from first. Right now, a conversation going to take place. Stay tuned following our game here on Spanish Fork 17. We'll have the MVP Sports, MVP of the game. And hopefully, we're playing a second one, but right now, the Timpanogos Timberwolves, they're 1 out away from repeating as Class 4A state champs. Cal Beardsley will be the pitcher. Brendan Bradford will be the hitter. Carson Chappell running at second. Noah Conway running at first. Brendan Bradford looking to try to come through here. And the pitch on its way. Bradford swings and misses. No balls and a strike on Brendan Bradford. Josh Cowden, the catcher, would hit next for Spanish Fork. No balls and a strike to count. Beardsley from the stretch takes a look at the runner at second, and it's on its way home. That one right on the outside corner. Spanish Fork back down to their final strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Beardsley from the stretch kicks and delivers the 0-2. Swing on and miss, strike 3. Timpanogos has repeated as 4A state champions. They will be celebrating in Orem tonight as Timpanogos able to find a way to get the job done. Spanish Fork competed, but you have to go back to those 2 times that the bases loaded and they couldn't get anybody in. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll wrap this one up. We'll have our final MVP Sports MVP of the game for you this year, and then we will say so long after the break here on Spanish Fork 17, KSL.com, and DeseretNews.com. Well, the 2 teams have just gotten done shaking hands. They're getting ready for the trophy presentation. Spanish Fork will officially finished, I guess, in 2nd place here in the 2017 season. So Casey Nelson and the Dons will get a plaque handed to them with the 2nd place trophy written on it. But as they get ready to do that, we'll join the public address announcer.
For the Deseret News Trophy presentation. Taking the presentation from the Les Schwab Fire Company is Jeff Casper. Representing the Utah High School Activities Association is Jeff Slott, member of the Executive Committee. Congratulations to both teams for their efforts and tremendous sportsmanship in today's game. At this time, the 6th place trophy is presented to a very fine Spanish Fork High baseball team. The 2017 Class 5A, Class 4A State Championship Trophy is presented to the Timpanogos Timberwolves.
So the exciting right here, Timpanogos, the 4A state champion. Spanish Fork finishes 2nd. The Dons played this Timpanogos team competitive in both of the meetings that they've had here this week, but Timpanogos able to do just a little bit. The difference in this one would be a 2-run homer from Casey Hamilton back in the 5th inning, that when the game was tied, Hamilton hit a deep shot to left field that made it 9-7, and that would end up being the difference of the ball game. Our MVP Sports MVP of the game goes to Jackson Higginson, who in the 9th spot tonight was 3 for 4 for Spanish Fork, and part of the big thing with those 3 hits that he had was at the time they all came in situations to help extend innings to get back to the top of the lineup, and they were all in situations where really they were a nice piece of hitting in the 2nd when Higginson just kind of flipped the ball out in the left field for 1 base hit. And throughout the weekend, a good job. Congratulations to Jackson Higginson. Congratulations to the Spanish Fork Dons for a 2nd place finish here this year. The Dons had a great run through Region 8. They will now stay in Region 4, or sorry, in Class 4A. They will move, however, now to Region 10 starting next year. And so with the high school sports season officially being over, I guess, here on Spanish Fork 17, until next year when we'll have some new changes with Maple Mountain heading to will stay in Region 8. some new alignments as well, with some of the Orem schools being in the Region 8 and Region 10. It's going to set up for another exciting sports year here on Spanish Fork 17. But until that time, I'm Ryan Pickens saying so long from the state championship, where today the Dons fall by a score of 9-7. Have a great summer, and we will see you in the fall for high school football on Spanish Fork 17.